So, Sweetie Pie's Tim Norman, who was found guilty in the summer of last year, has been sentenced to life in prison. And we know that life in prison under the feds is life in prison. Yeah, I'm playing the clapping emoji because I'm happy about that. Hope he never see freedom. You know? So anyway, it's your girl, Miss Ann Little Cole. I'm coming to you straight out of NYC on this quiet Thursday afternoon. So I'm going to read from the Associated Press. It says, former Sweetie Pie star Tim Norman gets life in killing. The former star of St. Louis-based television reality show Welcome to Sweetie Pies was sentenced Thursday to life in prison for arranging the student death of his nephew to collect the life insurance payment. James Tim Norman did not speak on his own behalf at the sentencing hearing in the March 2016 killing of his 21-year-old nephew, Andre Montgomery Jr. Both men had starred in the long-running own reality show about the family's soul food business in the St. Louis area. Norman's attorney submitted several letters from family and friends asking for leniency, including for Norman's mother and founder of the Sweetie Pies restaurant, Robbie Montgomery. I don't know whether Tim did what he was accused of and convicted of, wrote Robbie Montgomery, who was also the victim's grandmother. He is still the baby that I bore, and I love him, as every mother involved loves their child. Prosecutors said Norman took out a life insurance policy worth $450,000 on Montgomery and arranged to have him lured to a street in St. Louis where another man shot him. Several of Andre Montgomery's family members, including his mother, Michelle Griggs, asked that Norman be sentenced to life. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch reported, U.S. District Judge John A. Ross gave him 2 life sentences, calling it a cold-blooded, incredibly premeditated planned execution of your nephew. Norman was convicted in September of conspiracy to commit murder for hire, and conspiracy to commit fraud. Travell Anthony Hill admitted that he shot Montgomery in exchange for $5,000. Hill, 31, of St. Louis, was sentenced in October to 32 years in prison. Terica Tanisha Ellis, now 39, from Memphis, Tennessee, was sentenced to 3 years in prison after admitting that Norman paid her $10,000 to find Montgomery and tell Hill his location. A fourth person, insurance agent Wael Wally Rebbe Yangnim, was sentenced to 3 years in prison for helping Norman fraudulently apply for several insurance policies and a filed claim on Montgomery's life insurance policy. So, he did get life in prison, which is life in prison because it's federal. Now, let's be clear on something. I do believe justice was served for Tim Norman. I believe justice was served for Travell Hill, because Travell Hill, although he got 32 years, and he's got to do 32 years, he's not the person that executed this plan. That created the plan. Wael, that's a fair sentence, but I do think that they dropped the ball with Terica, because Terica should have got more time. In my opinion, Terica should have got 10 years. Terica should have got 10 years because she lured Andre to Travell. Okay? Now, when it comes to Wael, he had nothing to do with planning the murder. It was just all an insurance fraud thing. And he got caught up in it. And not only is he in prison, but he lost his insurance license. He'll never be able to sell insurance, never be able to work in any financial company again because of that. So that's messed up. That's really messed up. But I'm happy that happened, you know, because he could have got like 20 years or something and been out. But whatever Terica gave them, she gave them information that was concrete to where he's not going to be able to get an appeal to go through or anything. But let's be real also, Andre Montgomery should still be alive. And I feel that Miss Robin Montgomery's hands aren't all that clean. And I believe that the reason why Robin Montgomery is not really showing like sympathy with Andre, and she's more focused on her son, because she believes that Andre was the one that stole her money. And that's where I think all of this was rooted in. That's why I say her hands ain't clean. Her hands ain't clean. And then the fact that she's 82 years old and she walks around looking so young. And that to me does not make sense. Like, when a woman loses a grandchild like that and you walking around looking all young and like Zanzy and you 82, something is not right. But she got her karma because they closed the restaurants right after he was found guilty. There's only one restaurant left. Only one. You know? And so with that being said, nobody wants to deal with them anymore. And that one will probably be closed. You know? Because they lost the trust of the community. They let the people down. And I mean, that show was really good. That was a really good show. And, you know, you can't really look at it the same anymore unless you look at the clues. But I don't think they will ever have that show again on OWN. I don't think. I really don't think they're going to have that show on OWN, because they presented them as it was a family-friendly show. It was really good. And I used to come home from work on Saturdays and I'd be like, oh, you know, I got to tune in to Sweetie Pie. Me and my mother would watch Sweetie Pies. And it was really good because I mean, even though I'm a foodie, but I don't really watch cooking shows like that. But that show, I really enjoy like seeing them prepare the food. And it was just, you know, like down home. And James Timothy Norman ruined the whole legacy of that. He just ruined it. And so, you know, I just, you know, pray for Michelle Griggs and her family, because they're the ones that, you know, in my opinion, lost the most. And now, James Timothy Norman, he lost his freedom, rightfully so. And with that being said, it's your girl, Miss Sandra Nicole. I'm signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of my YouTube channel, Miss Sandra Nicole. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like, comment, share, and hit the notification bell. And I'll talk to you later. Good night.